Yo, it's your boy, Orion, one half of the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with a new video. We got NFL Week 11 picks and power rankings with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or our GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Follow us, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatics. No Clan Jolly, that was the main reason I was watching this NBA draft. I don't really care about a lot of the talent in the NBA, but obviously we all wanted to see where LaMelo was going to go. I figured he wouldn't go number one, and I figured with the Klay Thompson news of him being injured today, that there was a chance that the Warriors would maybe go for it, but Michael Jordan already said that he was going to grab Melo if he was sitting there, at 3, and I like it. It's going to put butts in the seats. It's nice, but I got a great video today. Odin Child, bang, $5. My God. But I got a great NFL Week 11 picks and power ranking show. But like I said, I don't know if anyone really cares that much. I mean, I think Wiseman is going to be good as like the premier center. It's going to be the guy that has had the most hype since Greg Oden came into the league, even though we know how that panned out for the Portland Trailblazers, my team. But as far as the hype, James Wiseman, he's got it. So they've kind of been lacking a big man, since Andrew Bogut. But now with Klay Thompson maybe being banged up, it would have been cool to see Steph Curry and LaMelo together. But LaMelo is going to Charlotte, and I like it because it's going to put butts in the seats. And then for any other reason, if you weren't a fan, of that particular team, you're not going to watch the Hornets for any fucking reason, especially if Kemba's not there. If he actually moved on and he went to Boston, now it gives you a reason to check out Melo. His merch is going to sell well. He's got the swag. He's got the drip. No cap. His jersey's going to sell well. His cards are going through the roof. I already looked on eBay, and I already had a couple buddies hit me up. His autographed cards and Panini brand are already going for $100, $200, $500, $1,000. So I might get in on some of that, action. Maybe some box breaks from some basketball cards. Get back into my old school ways and try to get that LaMelo, because that's really what it's going to be about. Not about Wiseman, not about all the rest, really LaMelo. That's really what's going to carry the NBA this season. So I'm watching that in the background as we speak, and I know a lot of y'all are as well, but I wanted to make sure that I did this NFL Week 11 picks and power rankings. We got a lot of amazing games starting tomorrow with the Cardinals and the Seahawks, and then an amazing slate after that. So if you're in the room right now and you haven't smashed the like button, I know a lot of y'all are watching the draft, you're watching me. You got one person that smashed the like button so far. So if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, close the chat, smash the like button, open it up, all right, for your boy, because it's for analytics and it's for metrics. It's going to help, and that way we can get as many people to donate, smash the like button, and the grind to 20K is real. Like I said, we're getting very, very close to get to that point where we're getting to that 20K grind. No Clan Jolly says, we got LaMelo. I know you're excited. Lenny D in the building. What up, Ryan? What to do? Ruiz, LA Rams popped out of the Jag in LA like Jalen Ramsey. You heard me? I heard you. Ruiz, LA Rams. I can't wait for the games this weekend. Who got LaMelo? The Charlotte Hornets did with the 3rd pick. They could have went to Golden State, but they were looking for some depth at a bigger body to kind of pair up with Draymond in the block. So it was a smart move. And a lot of people that were writing off the Warriors just because they've had all these injuries. We got to see how bad Klay's injury is. Hopefully it's not like an ACL, MCL, PCL tear. But if you can get Steph, Klay, and then you end up getting Wiseman and the rest and Draymond Green, you could probably make a deep run against the Lakers and all the other top teams. I'm not really into the NBA as much as I was before, but I'm definitely into LaMelo. I've watched him since high school, so I wanted to see where he ends up. Porfirio Lovato, Niners, bang, bang, Niner gang in the building. What to do? Odin Child, bang, $5, my guys. Let's see who else is in the building. Lenny D. All right, everyone in the building getting situated. Wilhelm Beeston, go Rams, and only the Rams, the Ramily. What to do? What to do? Is that Ryan? Picture the Samoan family. Roman, the Usos, Jimmy gets healthy. Bullet Club of AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Adam Cole. A WrestleMania-worthy match. Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you want to put butts in the seats, unless you had The Rock come, and he ended up being like the manager of the Samoan family, or if we could get Roman versus The Rock, But or even Rock joining the Samoan family one time only in that match would be crazy as well. So I appreciate everyone that's in the building. What to do? Randall's in the building. What to do? So we got a NFL Week 11 picks and power rankings. I was going to do this video a little bit later, around maybe 7 o'clock Pacific time, which would have been about 9 or 10 o'clock Eastern time. But I figured, what? I'll do the video. I'll do it now, and then if people want to end up watching it later on, they can hop in the room. But the Cardinals and Seahawks are tomorrow. So, I'm obviously a lot of us are watching the NBA draft. Even if we don't care too much about the NBA, I'm obviously watching a lot of NFL coverage also. But I hope everyone is having a good week. We're halfway there. It's hump day. It's, Wednesday. We're getting there. I've had a lot of movement in my power rankings, and this isn't by ESPN or Fox Sports, or any of the other networks out there. This is something that, with a lot of 6-3 teams, it's kind of hard to really gauge the power rankings at this point, but I am excited to kind of give you guys my input at this point. So we got NFL Week 11, picks and power rankings with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or our GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Follow us, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatic. So if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. There's about a good amount of people, decent amount, that are just hopping in as a early stream, but only a couple of you have smashed that like button so far. So if you could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And let's get into the power rankings. And I know a lot of people will catch this replay in about an hour or two, but you know what? I wanted to do it early while I watched the NBA draft. So let's get right into it. And this was tough. This was the toughest power rankings this year to date. Just because there's so many 6-3 teams, where do you put them? There were so many big wins and upsets, but I'm going to give you kind of what I feel at this point. So let's start off at number 10. So number 10 is a team that I had some belief in. They were outside my top 10 going in, but with a big win over the Titans, when it looked like the Titans more than likely were going to win that game, but they shut down every single aspect, and we saw Nyheim Hines on his birthday really ball out. I'm really proud to say that I finally got this team in the top 10. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Darius Leonard. We're talking about Phillip Rivers, Nyheim Hines. We're talking about number 10, the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I don't think I've had them in my top 10 all year, but you deserve to be in the top 10 now with a 34-17 win over the Titans. You're 6-3. You got one of the top defenses in the league. So with that being said, I feel that the Colts could be a sleeper team. We all know about the Steelers. We all know about the Chiefs. But who's the third best team in the AFC? Like, who can you really say is the third best team in the AFC? I mean, is it the Colts? Is it the Bills? Is it the Titans? Is it the Raiders? Who is it? So it's really tough to be able to gauge, and these next few weeks, we're really going to find out who is the best team, out of those teams. And like I said, some teams I'm sold on. Others, they have some big weaknesses. I don't think really the Colts have a lot of weakness besides wide receiver. But besides that, the running game, they have Jonathan Taylor, they have Nyheim Hines, have Jordan Wilkins. Phillip Rivers is old as hell. But remember, you end up having the best offensive lineman in the league, all right, and Quentin Nelson. So they're starting to kind of get things together. I like the defense. I like where the Colts can go. They're definitely a sleeper team, and I feel with the Colts, if they end up going to the playoffs, they can knock off almost anybody besides the Steelers or who? The Chiefs, obviously. So let's give them a little credit at this point. Big win, 34-17 win over the Titans. Who would have thought that they would have been able to punk the Titans like that on national TV? I didn't. I was definitely surprised. 34-17 win over the Titans. 6-3. Number 10, the Indianapolis Colts. Number 9. Number 9 I had in my power rankings, sitting around the middle of the power rankings. You lost a tough game with the Hail Murray. I still like this team, but I'm not really sold on their running game, and their defense has a lot of holes. They're not the same team as they were at the beginning of the year. I just don't know if they're going to be able to put it together. I still like this team, more than some of the others that are out there that I left out of my top 10. And I think that Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, You got to think Tre'Davious White. These guys got to get it together. You lost 32-30 against the Cardinals and Kyler Murray and D-Hop in the play of the year. But if they didn't have that happen, all right, you ended up having that amazing drive with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs to ultimately would have won the game 9 times out of 10. All right, they're 7-3. I don't like the defense. I don't like the running game. Singletary hasn't stepped up this year, but I like Zach Moss. We'll have to see where they go. At number 9, I got the Buffalo Bills. So with the Buffalo Bills, they're going to have to find some way, somehow, scheme-wise, to be able to get Josh Allen to either RPO, run the football, and to be able to keep the other teams, off the field. Because with this running game, they need to, I'm not sure if they're going to have to draft one or they're going to have to end up getting someone next season that's better than Singletary or Zach Moss, but it's a glaring weakness in their lineup. The offensive line has done a decent job, but the defense, normally in fantasy football, Buffalo's a top 5 fantasy football defense. They're usually a top 5 defense overall. They're giving up way too many points. So, if you can put up points on the Buffalo Bills, you have a great shot to end up winning the game because they can't really stop anybody. In a lot of the games that Bills, even though they've only lost 3, I just don't know if I can count on them in the playoffs. If they don't have a solid running game and if they can't stop anybody out there, there could be sleeper teams like the Pats that find a way. They're still a little ways back. I don't know if the Pats are going to end up making, that particular run, but we will have to wait and see. But I like where they are at this point. Number 9, the Buffalo Bills. Number 8 is a team that I love that's gotten super hot as of late. How good is the team going to be? It's tough to say. With this team starting to roll at the proper time, it's like, are they going to end up winning the AFC East? Are they going to be able to find a way to win with Tua? You won 29-21 against the Chargers. All right, we're talking about the Miami Dolphins at number 8. Now, I have other teams on the outside looking in, like the Raiders, who I really love. And I think the Raiders, they got a lot of guys on COVID on their defense. Now, if they end up beating the Chiefs and they sweep them, then you're going to get a lot more pub, and you're definitely going to end up in the top 10. You're really sitting on my list right now at 11, and I want to put you in the top 10 so badly. I really like that Raiders roster. I like what they've been doing. I like John Gruden, but I got to give Miami some love. I think with the Dolphins and Tua, they've exceeded expectations. They're starting to win games. You ended up beating Justin Herbert. As you saw, there's no stories in football, so the story of the day was Justin Herbert getting a fucking haircut. Like, who gives a fuck? All right, if Justin Herbert cut his hair, it's almost like one of those things they're just reaching for stories. But I really like this Miami Dolphins defense. I like their coach, Coach Flores, who ended up coming out from the Bill Belichick tree. So there's a chance that the Miami Dolphins, if they can get hot at the right time, that they might be able to end up winning that AFC East over the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. It's too early to call it just yet, but I got to give them love. Number 8, the Miami Dolphins. And obviously my honorable mention, even though I just don't want to go through the list, at number 11, on the outside looking in, the Raiders, who defeated the Broncos 37-12. They are 6-3, but I think they got to win against the Chiefs, really, to get up into the power rankings, and I need to see where they are. But I have a feeling that the Raiders are going to be in my top 10 sooner than later. I think that they could do a lot of damage, like the Colts. They're kind of that sleeper team. You don't expect a whole lot from the Colts or Raiders, but if they have the right matchup, they might be able to upset someone in the playoffs, and that's big facts. So number 11, we got the Raiders. Number 10, we have the Colts. Number 9, we got the Bills. Number 8, we got the Miami Dolphins, led by Tua Tagovailoa. Absolutely love him, and I love that he finally got a chance to shine out on the football field. Number 7 is a team that we saw the Hail Murray. You got Kyler Murray, my fantasy football quarterback. You ended up beating the Bills at the last second, 32-30, 6-3 record. NFC West is stacked. Who's going to win the NFC West? In the very beginning of the year, Marcos Pineda in the building said, my Seahawks have to bounce back tomorrow. All right. The Cardinals win 32-30 against the Bills. They're 6-3. The Rams are 6-3. The Seahawks are 6-3. Everyone was on the Seahawks. And not to shit on your parade, because Marcos, you and me are very close. All right, I know the Seahawks are your ride and die team, but you're kind of trending downwards with the Seahawks because they can't stop a nosebleed. And I know everyone knows it, even Seahawks fans. You got Bobby Wagner, who's excellent, one of the best linebackers in football. You got Jamal Adams. You got Carlos Dunlap. But the defense can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop anybody. And going into tomorrow in the Cardinals and the Seahawks matchup, the only way the Seahawks are going to get back on, the up and up, right, is what? What's the main thing? They need their running backs healthy, Carlos Hyde and Chris Carson, and it sounds like Chris Carson is going to miss the game. And on top of that, Tyler Lockett sounds like he's going to miss the game. So you end up having DK Metcalf one-on-one on Patrick Peterson. The last time that happened, it didn't end up well for DK Metcalf. He'll probably get shut down again. All right, so David Moore could step up, but if it's Carlos Hyde and David Moore, I don't know if you're going to be able to win that matchup. I want to root for the Seahawks to win at home, to win that matchup, but if you don't have Carson and if you don't have Lockett, you're not winning that game. So number 7, I got the team that could make a big jump this season about 1 year early than anyone anticipated. I told you before the season started that this team could be a wild card team or win the NFC West. At number 7, we're talking about the Arizona Cardinals. Now, they lack, obviously, defense. The O-line is shaky at times. You got Kyler Murray. You got Kenyon Drake. You got D-Hop, Christian Kirk. You got weapons out there, all right? But as far as the defense is concerned, they have holes. Chandler Jones is injured. They don't really have the same pass rush that you would like. But I still like this Cardinals team. If you got Kyler Murray out there, he can do it. He's doing pretty much what Lamar Jackson did last season, but better, to me. And I think that with the weapons that they have, they're growing with confidence. If they can get this win against Seattle, obviously tomorrow, that's going to gain more confidence. And obviously it's going to be probably a 1-2 race between the Cardinals and Rams. I see the Seahawks starting to scale back a little bit unless Chris Carson can get healthy, unless Tyler Lockett can get healthy. And like I said, now it shows you the offensive line is really important for Seattle. Why the hell have you not been drafting that position or filling that need in free agency? And the defense. You got to have a balanced defense if you end up wanting to hang with these teams that are in the NFC West. And imagine if the Niners didn't get banged up, they probably would have a 3-4 more wins at this point as well. And they might get Matt Ryan next year. So if Matt Ryan's on the Niners, that's not looking good for Seattle. I know you got Russell Wilson, and I know you got DK Metcalf, and I know you got Tyler Lockett and Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams, Carlos Dunlap, but you can't have 4 guys on offense and 3 or 4 on the defense and think that you're going to win the Super Bowl. It just doesn't happen. You got to have more depth. So I'm hoping that they can get it together, but we will see. But I got to give love where love needs to be given. Number 7, the Arizona Cardinals. Number 6 is a team that's most likely to win the NFC West. I said this at the very beginning of the year. I thought the Cardinals and the Rams could end up battling for NFC West supremacy and could make a deep run. Some of y'all laughed. 6-3, 23-16 win against the Seahawks. The Los Angeles Rams and the Jared Goff-fence doesn't look great at times, but Robert Woods is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league. He can block. He runs great routes. He's got great hands. The defense is led by Aaron Donald. My Tampa Bay Buccaneers play them on Monday night. I haven't really played well in prime time. And most of the time I would be like, you know what? Tampa Bay is going to win the game. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to win the game. And I'm the most hardcore Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. It doesn't matter if I'm on home or on the road. If you're playing a team like the Los Angeles Rams, I think people need to start waking up. You know what I mean? They have a great balance. You got Aaron Donald. You got Jalen Ramsey. You saw what Jalen Ramsey did to DK Metcalf. So, I mean, it hurts me to say it that I really hope that we play a strong football game. But if Tampa Bay loses to the Los Angeles Rams, I won't be surprised, and you shouldn't be either. They should be favored to win that game. I just hope it's not a blowout. I hope if we end up losing, it's only by 3 or 4 points, but we'll see. Maybe a miracle, can come out and, Rojo's not going to get that same long, touchdown and that type of performance against that stingy defense. But I think this Rams team is probably one of the most underrated in the NFC. No one's talking about him except for me. Obviously it's easy to talk about Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson or the Saints with Drew Brees, even though he's injured now, and now Jameis and Taysom Hill are coming in, or the Buccaneers with my Tom Brady and company, right? And all the others. But the one that's kind of being overlooked is the Los Angeles Rams. I definitely could see them making the NFC Championship game, and it's all about balance, balance, balance. And even though Tampa Bay got dominated by the Saints, all right, they found a way to bounce back against the Panthers because they do have that balance. And I like teams that have balance because those are the teams that are going to end up getting far in the AFC and the NFC, and hopefully the AFC-NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. At number 6, I got the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are legit. They're 6-3. If I had to take a guess on who's winning the division, it's the Rams. I mean, the Cardinals are the sexy pick because they got Kyler, all right? But their offensive line isn't that good. Rams is shaky at times as well. The Cardinals' offense, you could argue, is better than the Rams, but the Rams have the best defense in the NFC West. They're better than the Niners. They're better than the Cardinals. They're better than the Seahawks. You probably could combine all three of those teams' defenses, and they're still not as good as the Rams when they're rolling. When everyone's healthy, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, they're showing that Aaron Donald is the best defensive player in the league when healthy. And Jalen Ramsey, for anyone that thought he was a top 10 corner or maybe someone that wasn't top 10, when you shut down a guy like DK Metcalf that arguably was the number 1 wide receiver or number 2 or number 3 this season, it shows you that, hey, maybe Jalen Ramsey is a top 3 corner. He's the most athletic corner out of anyone in the league. It's just all about discipline, being motivated, being healthy, and he showed it last week. I like this team a lot. And like I said, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't get there, if the New Orleans Saints don't get there, Los Angeles Rams are legit. I like them a lot. Don't be surprised at the end of the day, if the NFC, we all start beating each other up. Maybe Drew Brees doesn't end up being as healthy as we think. Maybe Tom Brady has a bad game, and maybe, the defense gives up a lot, and then they can't get the running game going, right? Maybe the Cardinals can't really elevate with Kyler Murray in the playoffs, right? Maybe some of these other teams that are going there, maybe the Green Bay Packers can't stop anyone on defense either. Would it be that surprising? I know to a lot of y'all it would be because no one's really talking about it right now besides me, but it could be a possibility that the Rams are flying under the radar and they could be the person or team, all right, that actually gets to the Super Bowl for the NFC. Now, everyone's going to be saying, okay, Saints first, Packers second, Buccaneers third, and then maybe the Rams or someone else. Let's pump the brakes just a little bit. The Rams have a good shot to be able to get there. Of course, I like the offenses, of Tampa Bay. I love the offenses with AK-41 and Drew Brees, but he's hurt. Of course, I love Aaron Rodgers, right? But what is something that those teams have? All right, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a defense. The Saints have a great defense. Tampa's got a great defense, right? But now Drew's hurt, right? If Tampa Bay plays someone with a good D, sometimes they fall on their face, especially in prime time. So we'll find out a lot on Monday Night Football if the Rams beat Tampa Bay. And like I said, every time it seems like I pick Tampa Bay to win in prime time, they play like shit. So I'm going to pick the Rams to win, and then maybe the Bucs can prove me wrong. But I like the Rams regardless if they win or lose on Monday night against my Buccaneers. I think that they can win the NFC West, and they could definitely surprise a lot of people. And it's about Jared Goff being healthy, confident, being comfortable in the pocket, getting good, production from the wide receivers and the tight ends. But let's not sleep on the Los Angeles Rams. And no one's talking about it. I'm the only motherfucker on YouTube or in the media that's talking about the Rams this way. Nobody at this point, at week 11, is talking about the Rams going to the Super Bowl, going to the NFC Championship game, or even winning the NFC West. Everyone's talking Cardinals, Seahawks. No one is giving the Rams really a shot, or if they are, they're not talking about it. So I do like the Cardinals. They have the good shot to be able to win the NFC West as well. Seattle has no shot in my eyes just because they don't have a defense. They're going to start dropping some games regardless of how good Russell Wilson plays. So it's going to be a 2-team race. Rams, Cardinals. It's going to go down head-to-head. We'll have to see if the Cardinals' defense and the offensive line can match the Rams. But all I got to say, it's going to be exciting to see what happens. But even if the Cardinals don't win the NFC West, they're going to go to the playoffs, and there's a chance that they get to the NFC Championship as well, especially if you got Kyler Murray. I got him in fantasy football for a reason. All right, I knew he was going to break out this season, and he's not a fluke. He's not a one-trick pony, all right? He is not one of those guys that's like Lamar Jackson, great one year, and then it's going to be booty the rest of his career. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson's going to be booty, but he can't throw the football, all right? He cannot make the throws. He's not a pure quarterback. He's a gimmick quarterback, and he's getting exposed this season. And it also shows you, when Marshall Yanda retired, all right, that offensive line has struggled mightily. All right, they can't run the football. They don't have any protection. Lamar isn't as dominant as he was before. He can't throw the football. The defense isn't as good as it was last year either. Kyler Murray is the future of the league, and that's big facts. Number 7, the Arizona Cardinals. Number 6, the Los Angeles Rams. Number 5 is a team that you are familiar with. Maybe I am familiar with as well. All right, this team had the biggest win, in my opinion, in week 11. All right, you got your ass kicked 38-3. All right, the week before against the New Orleans Saints. All right, it was embarrassing. Not only for me, every other fucking Bucks fan on planet goddamn Earth. I don't know how many of them are out there, but I've been a loyal fan, loyal to the soil since 95. A lot of y'all stopped watching the damn game after the first quarter. I don't blame you, unless you were in my live stream. 46-23 ass whooping of the Panthers. I'm 7-3. I still have a shot to represent the NFC. There's teams that are better, Packers, Saints at this point, right? But with Drew Brees' injury and with the Packers and everything that's going on with their defense, I still love my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I still think that they have a shot to represent the NFC and get to the NFC Championship game. Gronk, if you look at the tight end position in fantasy football, it's a nightmare. I mean, besides really who? Travis Kelce and maybe Gronk. Those are the most consistent really as of late. Kelsey's been consistent all year. Gronk in the last month or so. But no one can score fucking points really in the fantasy football position at tight end. So we're going to have to see where it goes with the division and with the health of Drew Brees and everyone else. But I like my defense. I like my coaches. It was a great bounce back win. You saw Ronald Jones in the reaction video that I did. 98-yarder right up the guts. The longest run in Tampa Bay Buccaneer history, which was great, right? But the thing is when we play teams that have great defenses, right, and they have quality talent all around them, Tampa Bay struggles. Bang! Gilberto Zapata. Cardinals in the building. So, I mean, obviously when you go to the playoffs, who are you going to play? You're going to play teams like the Cardinals, the Rams, the Saints, the Packers. So I'm not sure. Tampa's going to have to do a lot of soul searching. It's not a lock for them to even get to the NFC Championship game. It's not even a lock for Tampa Bay with the talent that they have to even win a playoff game. And I'm being real. I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan through and through, but I'm not going to just be like, oh, we got Tom Brady, we're going to the Super Bowl and we're going to win. I've never said that. I'm hoping we can get there, but to me at this point, we have so far to go that I could definitely see the Saints representing, I could see the Packers representing, and I could see the Rams or Cardinals representing just as much as Tampa Bay. And that's facts. And I'm not just saying that. We have a long ways to go. I'm not one of those idiot fans that, is very blind and I'm all about my team and I can't see anything else and all my weaknesses. When we play a good team that has a good defense that stops the run, we're fucked. If we end up being able to run the football and Brady gets going early and the O-line does its job, we usually are in every football game we play. We might not win it, like that Bears game we lost by 1, but we really struggle against teams that have elite defense. Chicago, loss. Saints week 1, loss. 38-3, Saints, loss. And what do those three teams have in common? Or two teams, 3 matchups. Saints twice, Bears once, great defenses. So that really concerns me, you know what I mean? Tampa and Tom Brady, he needs to step up. But for a 43-year-old man, and with Gronk, missing football for a year and a half, they're starting to kind of turn the wheel, and things are getting better. They're starting not to focus as much on Antonio Brown and getting back to basics with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, which they should, right? Now it's going to be up to coaching and the defense to make adjustments, but they had a huge win. I know a lot of y'all were hoping or thinking that Tampa was going to lose against the Panthers. If they would have lost to the Panthers, even if it was like 46-23 or 26-23, I would have been devastated. Really that shows that, you can still make the playoffs. You're not winning the NFC South, but, you can't lose a game to a team like the Panthers after getting your ass kicked from the Saints. So, number 5, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 46 points. 46-23 against the Panthers, 7-3. Huge win for Tampa, huge for our confidence, but there's still quite a few teams that are better than Tampa Bay. We got a long ways to go if we even want to smell NFC South crown, smell the playoffs, or even smell NFC Championship game or Super Bowl. That's hella out of the question at this point. Number 4. Number 4 is a team that I think that has the best shot to represent the NFC that's not named the New Orleans Saints, because I'm not really sure about Drew Brees. They say 2 weeks. They say 3 weeks. But if you got broken ribs on the right side and the left side and a punctured lung, if you take one big fucking hit, right, and you end up coming back too early, that might be it for you for the whole season, all right? And then you got to stick with Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, and as great as your defense is and as great as AK-41 has been, all right, I don't think that team will be able to go to the NFC Championship game and win, or if they do get there, right, I don't know if you're going to be able to win against the other team in the NFC if Drew's not QBing. That's a lot of pressure on Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. Could they do it? Of course they could, because the defense is amazing. AK-41 should be in the MVP, in the MVP race. I brought it out in the video when I did the Saints reaction video yesterday. No one's talking about him in the MVP. I had to throw it out there. You have to. I'm a Bucs fan, but if you look at everything that he's done this season, Michael Thomas was great last season. He held it down when Drew was out, right? AK-41 has single-handedly held this team down the whole season on the offensive side of the ball. Demario Davis and the rest of the defense has done their job, right? I know Dalvin Cook is great. Right? And I know, King Henry is great, Derrick Henry. But if we really look at, if you're looking at fantasy points, Dalvin Cook obviously is right there at the top, right with AK-41. But who really has been more valuable? And you can definitely argue AK-41, the alien Alvin Kamara, has been more valuable to the Saints than Dalvin Cook has to the Vikings. And look at the wins and everything they've done, all right? But at number 4, I got a guy, Mr. Discount Double Check, Aaron Rodgers, all right? At this point, they don't have the same defense as the Bucs or the Rams, all right? But you got a guy named Aaron Rodgers who could win the MVP this season. If it's not Aaron Rodgers winning the MVP and AK-41 can't get it, or Dalvin Cook, because they're not going to give it to a running back, they're going to give it to a quarterback. So in all reality, Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers is winning the MVP this season, period. That's what's going to happen. We're going to have to see the touchdown to interception ratio, how far they go. But I think that both of those quarterbacks can lead their teams not only to the AFC, NFC championship game. We could get a Chiefs-Packers Super Bowl. They definitely need Allen the Lizard Lazard back. The defense is piss poor at times, facts, right? But when you got Aaron Rodgers in the lineup, anything is possible. It's like Patrick Mahomes. You really can't count out those two quarterbacks. They make so many players better around them. Super intelligent. If you watch the Pat McAfee show, he's on there. He's probably one of the smartest guys that I've ever watched interview. Laid back. Everyone thought that he was this asshole in the media. I really have grown fond of Aaron Rodgers over the years. He's intelligent. He's down to earth. He's a real caring guy. He ride or dies for his linemen. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those guys. He's just such an assassin at the quarterback position. Don't be surprised if the Packers end up representing the NFC, even with their defense being kind of shitty at times. They do have the number 1 corner this year, though, in Jair Alexander, so that'll help. Number 4, the Green Bay Packers, 24-20 over the Jags. Yes, it was ugly. But sometimes you got to win ugly this season. 7-2 record. I like them a lot. And like I said, depending on Drew Brees and his health, if he can't get healthy or if he comes back and takes a big hit, I don't know if you're going to go to the Super Bowl with Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. If I had to put money on it, I'd say no. Because if it's those two guys leading the charge at QB, the Packers could win. The Bucs can win, the Rams could win, and maybe even the Cardinals could hang. But I think Drew will come back. They'll do everything that they can. They just got to stay afloat. The remaining schedule for them is super easy. All right, the remaining schedule for them, they got a lot of winnable games. The only game that they'll lose more than likely is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. But other than that, as Jameis Winston doesn't, turn the ball over 3 times or more, and you got Taysom Hill to back up, Jameis if he fucks up, you should still be able to win almost every single game the rest of the season, even if Drew doesn't come back until the first week of the playoffs. They have that kind of talent with AK-41. They got that talent at MT-13, Michael Thomas. You got Jared Cook. You got Emmanuel Sanders. You got plenty of weapons, Latavius Murray, and the defense is lit. So I still think the Saints are amazing, but there's going to be a difference between them making the NFC Championship game and winning or going to the Super Bowl and winning if they have to have Drew. If they don't have Drew, it's not going to happen. And you can say that for the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady and the Bucs, Jared Goff and the Goffets, absolutely, or Kyler, and obviously the Cardinals. You got to have your QB. Number 4, the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, and Davante Adams. Number 3. Number 3 is a team that we were just talking about. They're great. But I am concerned about Drew Brees. They won 27-13. They were down early, but they have one of the best defenses in the league. I'm well aware of it. I've lost twice this season to them. They're 7-2. You beat the Niners 27-13. We're talking about the New Orleans Saints at number 3. They got the offense. They got the defense. The Bucs got the offense and the defense. Rams, offense, defense. Packers, offense, no defense. Cardinals, offense, a pretty decent defense with Budda Baker. They're missing Chandler Jones. Seattle, awesome offense, no defense. To really go far in this league, you got to have balance. The Saints have it. And then the one thing that people kind of shy away from or don't really recognize unless you're a Saints fan, a Bucs fan, Panther fan, Falcon fan, or just a fan of the Saints in general, The special teams is super underrated. With the players that you have, with Harris, Traquan Smith, a lot of these other guys that are kind of no-namers to outsiders, these are the guys that really make big plays. Harris, Traquan Smith. Sometimes Traquan Smith will be the number one receiver if they're banged up and hurt. Sometimes he'll be the third or fourth option at wide receiver. But they have plenty of weapons out there. AK-41 is definitely, you can argue, is the MVP for the season at the running back position. And I hope he gets some votes. I know he's not, but he deserves it. I mean, if you really look at the way that he's carried the team, it's one of the best performances that I've seen from a running back. And if I really compare, even though Dalvin Cook has had those big games, 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, I think overall, if I was going to say game to game, who have I been more impressed with? Dalvin Cook, even though he has maybe more points in fantasy. I get it. I've been more impressed with AK-41. Period. Game in and game out. He can run through the guards. He can run through the tackles. He can take a pitch, right? He's great in the passing game. He's the type of guy that could get a touchdown on the ground and 2 in the air. There's not many guys that can do that. And when he's out there and he plays running back, sometimes I feel he's like a big wide receiver. You know what I mean? He moves like a running back, but he's got hands like a wide receiver. It's very rare. It's kind of like that Marshall Faulk, Roger Craig kind of feel. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. First ballot. Hands down. I'm a Bucs fan, but I know talent when I see it. He's fantastic, and it might go down in history that he ends up being, recognized higher than like a Marshall Faulk or a LaDainian Tomlinson. And imagine that. I mean, those are 2 guys that are Hall of Famers that kind of changed our game. I really like him a lot. I would take him on my team in a heartbeat. He's great. And then you got guys like, Zeke, and you got guys like Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook, Run CMC. I understand that those guys are out there. All right. But if you really look at everything that he's done, having a chip on his shoulder, being a 3rd or 4th rounder, coming into the league, I like his swag. I like his drip. The Saints better lock him up for the rest of his career. You don't want a guy like that to get away. I love him. Appreciate his game. And like I said, we were worried that he could carry the load last season after Mark Ingram left. Right, and he was banged up all year, did a pretty good job, but this year he's been fully healthy, and you're seeing the benefits, the fruit of the labor of him showing out and holding it down when Michael Thomas has been out, and now going to hold it down again when Drew Brees is out. The single most valuable person to the Saints this season has been AK-41, the alien, Alvin Kamara. And I guarantee you're not going to hear any other fucking Bucs fan, any other NFC South fan, or any other team that, or members of a team that root for someone other than the Saints give that much love. Number 3, the Nolans Saints. Number two is a team that is really, to me, the number 1 team in the league. They had a bye week. They're 8-1. They got the best quarterback in the league in Patrick Mahomes. They're going to be able to play against the Raiders, and we'll see what happens there. But obviously the Raiders, it seems like almost all their defensive players have gotten some type of COVID. So they're on the COVID protocol. So hopefully they can be negative with that, because that's a huge game. The only loss the Chiefs have this season was against the Raiders. They have the blueprint. John Gruden got pressure on Patrick Mahomes, and that's the key. But you don't really see that happen that often. And Patrick Mahomes is a single quarterback besides Aaron Rodgers that could be down by 10, 13, 14, 17 in the second half and can still come back and win a game and will their team to victory. I like the Chiefs a lot. I still think they're the best team in the AFC. They're going to represent the AFC, and it wouldn't surprise me if they win back-to-back championships. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I thought going into the year. I still think that to this very day. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs with a bye week at 8-1. And when it's all said and done, I would be shocked if it's not the Chiefs representing the AFC, and if it's not, obviously it's going to be this number 1 team led by Mike Tomlin, who's never had a losing season in his 14-year career. Amazing. Number 1, undefeated 9-0, the Pittsburgh Steelers. 36-10, you beat the brakes off the Bengals. You got Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster on his birthday, Deontay Johnson, James Conner, Benny Snell, Ben Roethlisberger, Big Ben Revenge Tour. And I told y'all going into the year that I thought this team could go far. I didn't think that they would be 9-0 at this point. They're not going to go undefeated. They're going to want to drop a game sooner than later. But like I said, they got the number 1 defense in my eyes, better than Tampa's, better than the Saints, better than the Colts. I really like the Steelers' defense. You got Bud Dupree. You got Minka Fitzpatrick. You got TJ Watt. Like when we had the Chiefs last year, when you had Frank Clark, Chris Jones, and Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. This year, it looks like it's Bud Dupree, Micah Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt as maybe the most dominant trio. We'll have to see as the weeks go along. We're going to end up having a Chiefs-Steelers AFC Championship game, I hope. We were hoping last season for a Chiefs-Ravens based on how the Ravens were playing. If you notice, I don't even got the Ravens in my top 10. I don't got the Seahawks in my top 10. I'm just not really sold on those teams. So we'll have to kind of wait and see on where it goes. But I absolutely love the Pittsburgh Steelers and everything that they're doing on offense and defense, special teams. Mike Tomlin definitely needs to get a little bit of pub. He's great. He came from the Tampa Bay coaching tree. And if anything ever happens to him in Pittsburgh, that's who I would want to coach Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Tomlin. At number 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers at 9-0. So let's go over just a quick review for some of y'all that came in the room a little bit late, so that way I can start over and I'll do it for you guys because your boy does that. You know, I care about everyone in the room. You guys are the best fans on planet Earth. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're getting closer and closer to that 20K giveaway. NFL Week 11 picks and power rankings with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF or a GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Follow us, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatic. So about half of you that are in the room right now have smashed the like button. The other half have not. So if you close the chat real quick, right? Smash that like button for me. There's 15 right now, but we all got about double that in the room. So smash that like button. It's going to help with analytics. It's going to help with metrics. I'm going to go back into the list one more time, and then I'll go through the picks of the week. And if you can donate to your boy, we got $15 in donos. We're almost at 20 likes. A couple more of y'all will smash that like button, and we'll get there. And then I'll do the picks of the week. And the NBA draft is on right now. If you haven't watched it, LaMelo Ball to the Charlotte Hornets, number 3 pick overall. He will be the hottest thing since sliced bread, and that's facts. NFL Week 11 picks and power rankings. Number 11, or the honorable mention that I have to mention, it is who? The Las Vegas Raiders. I really want to put them in my top 10, but based on, even though I like them more than the Bills, I had to give them a little bit of love. I can't have the Bills in the middle of my power rankings at 5 or 6 last week and drop them completely out. So the Raiders are my honorable mention. They got a big game against the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 6-3. You defeated the Broncos 37-12. I like where this team is trending. I like where this team is going. Don't be surprised if this team surprises a few teams at the end of the season. They're not going to win the AFC West, but I could see them getting farther than people think. We're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. And what did I say at the beginning of the season? I told you within the first 3 years, the Las Vegas Raiders were going to make the wild card. This is year 1, and they are already going to do it in year 1. It's looking like. I mean, depending on how many teams get in with COVID, if we don't have any extra protocols with extra teams added. But I absolutely love the number 11 honorable mention team, Las Vegas Raiders. I think that they got a great chance to make some damage in this NFL playoffs 2020. Number 10 is making a debut on my power rankings for the very first time. They beat the brakes off the Titans. They're 6-3, 34-17 win over the Titans. Naheem Hines' birthday was on that Thursday night game, and he proved that he was worthy to even get carries over Jonathan Taylor, obviously that stud running back from Wisconsin, or Jordan Wilkins. We're talking about Phillip Rivers' old ass. Number 10, the Indianapolis Colts. They got the best offensive lineman in football in Quentin Nelson. Their defense is ranked in the top 3. In some categories, they've been ranked number 1 in the last few weeks. I like the way that this team is rolling around. They got a guy that's one of the more underappreciated linebackers in football in Darius Leonard, just like a guy like Demario Davis on the Saints and Levante David on my Bucks. They don't get love. Why? I don't get it. These guys always ball out. They always make plays. Darius Leonard is a beast. Everyone talks about Bobby Wagner, and they used to talk about Luke Kuechly. Start watching tape on Darius Leonard, Demario Davis, and Levante David, and just take away not what team that they're on, all right? Don't have any bias. Just look at the player and what they're doing on the field. Don't have that Saints bias or that Bucks bias or that Colts bias. Just look at those 3 guys and the way that they play the linebacker position. It's a beauty to watch. Bobby Wagner's great. But hey, you know what? I would take Demario Davis, a.k.a. the glue, Darius Leonard, and obviously Levante's on my team in a heartbeat. Those guys are animals out there, and that's a big reason why I got the Colts at number 10. 34-17 win over the Titans, 6-3 record. I think they can make the playoffs. Number 9 Number 9 is a team that I don't really have a whole lot of confidence in. I'll be very honest. I love Josh Allen. I love Stephon Diggs. I like Cole Beasley. I don't really like Singletary, the running back. I like Zach Moss. I don't really like the offensive line. The defense is trash. Obviously, you got some pieces out there, but it just seems like the defense is lost. They've got a lot of injuries. They can't stop a fucking nosebleed. Obviously I like some of the corners and the safety position players that they have. But I'm talking about number 9, the Buffalo Bills. And I feel they're trending outwards, right? Especially if the Miami Dolphins start trending upwards. And then you got the Patriots starting to make some noise as well. They lost 32-30. You would have won that game if it wasn't for the Hail Murray. All right? You ended up making an amazing drive with Josh Allen connecting with Stephon Diggs. You're 7-3. You've lost to the Cardinals. You've lost, to the Titans and the Chiefs. Some tough opponents. I get it. But what I need to see is balance. Your defense is not good, all right? It's almost like the Seattle Seahawks of the AFC. And I hate to say that because the Bills have some talent, and they've come a long way. Josh Allen has come a long way since his rookie season to now. But you can't run the damn football effectively. You need to get a better running back than Zach Moss or Devin Singletary, facts. Offensive line needs to be upgraded. And the defense is not good. Bottom line, I don't see them going to the AFC Championship game. If I had to say a team is a contender or pretender, the Bills are a pretender, especially with the Pats coming hot, and then now you got the Miami Dolphins coming around. The Bills can still win the AFC East, no doubt, right? But for them to be able to make the long-term investment, they're going to have to invest at running back, O-line, and defense because they just don't got it. And it hurts me to say that because the Bills are a fun team to watch. I like rooting for them. Diggs was a great addition to the roster, but it shows you how important certain positions are with defense, linebackers, D-end, D-tackles, offensive line, running game. They just don't have all the pieces yet. They're getting there, but they don't got it yet. But I still like some pieces of them on the field. Number 9, the Buffalo Bills. You lost 32-30 to the Cardinals. They're 7-3. They can still win the AFC East, but the Patriots are coming and the Dolphins are coming as well. Number 8. Number 8 is the surprise of the year. Ryan Fitzmagic was leading this team. Then we had Tua Tagovailoa. We knew that this guy could ball out. The only left-handed starting quarterback in the league. The last one since Kellen Moore for the Cowboys a few years ago. If you watched him at Alabama, you know this guy could ball. There were some hip injuries that he had, but I absolutely love his game. He's kind of half Steve Young. He's half Michael Vick. He's half Scotty Mitchell. He's half of Boomer Esiason. It's all these great left-handed quarterbacks all rolled into one. He's confident, he's smart, he's humble, he's a team player, and people ride or die for this motherfucker. I love him. You got Joe Burrow, they ride or die for him, for the Bengals. You got Justin Herbert, even though he got a haircut today and people were going wild, and obviously the NFL community because they have nothing fucking else to talk about. Who gives a shit if he cut his hair? Fucking stupid, all right? But the Miami Dolphins, they got something. Brian Flores came from the New England coaching tree. All right. Joe Judge from the Giants came from the New England coaching tree. The Giants are on the up and up. They may or may not win the NFC East this year, but you can see the significance, even though they ended up firing one of their coaches, supposedly, right, because they had a fist fight. We don't know if that's true or not, right? And obviously with Brian Flores with Miami, they have a great defense. Right? They got good weapons on offense. And they're kind of manufacturing these pieces, these Preston Williams and these players. Imagine in the next 2 to 3 years when they start getting all these first rounders, second rounders, third rounders. By the time we get into next year and the year after and the year after, the Dolphins could be dominating the AFC East. I know it's weird to say because they've been so bad for so long. But they are going to have the most capital in draft picks based off all the trades that they've made. They're going to end up getting maybe ETN from Clemson, right? They'll get a stud running back that could be their workhorse. They're going to get a better wide receiver to come along to be their true number one with the complements that they have now. Better tight ends, better O-line. Keep adding to that defense. That team is going to get scary. They're going to get to the playoffs sooner than later. They should be able to make it this season, right? And they could end up being in the AFC Championship game in maybe 2 or 3 years from now. We're talking about the Miami Dolphins at number 8. They're the sleeper team. Tua's still young. Tua's still raw, all right? Just like Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. But the difference is between Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, what does Miami have? Better coaching. You have better coaching there. They don't necessarily have better players on offense. Joe Burrow, right, and Justin Herbert have better players. But sometimes it doesn't matter about the players. It's about the coaching. Tua has proper coaching, and the defense is better, obviously, with the Dolphins rather than the Bengals or the Chargers. And you're seeing them with a 6-3 record. I absolutely love the Miami Dolphins. They beat my guy, Justin Herbert. Look for them to make noise. They could win the AFC East this year. They could win it next year. But like I said, look for them to make noise. This isn't just a one-trick pony. They're not going away. Number 8, the Miami Dolphins. And I think it would be great to be able to see Tua, get to that point. And if Tua gets to that point, even though Burrow might deserve Rookie of the Year, even though Justin Herbert might deserve Rookie of the Year, it might go to Tua. If they end up going 11-5, right, and they end up winning the AFC East, or they get in by a wild card, you might give the award to Tua if they can get to that point. That's still asking a lot at this point in the season, but I absolutely love Miami and their future. They have so many draft picks coming. If Flores hits on, maybe 65 of the draft picks that they pick in the next 3 years, they'll probably be in an AFC championship game in 3 years, like no cap. They could win the division in the next couple years based off the capital that they have. They just have to hit on their draft picks, and people are going to want to play with Tua, and that's big facts. Number 8, the Miami Dolphins, a first-time runner-up in this particular power rankings, just like the Colts. They've never been in my top 10. Number 10, the Colts. Number 9, the Bills. Number 8, Miami Dolphins, and then the honorable mention, Raiders, just out of my top 10, but I have a feeling that they're going to be in my top 10 for the rest of the year. Las Vegas Raiders. Number 7 is a team that I absolutely love. They have Kyler Murray with the Hail Murray. 32-30 win against the Bills. They have issues with defense with no Chandler Jones, but I like the way that they've been balling out. 6-3, 32-30 win against the Bills. Number 7, the Arizona Cardinals. And the bottom line, we were so high on Russell Wilson for the MVP. Guess what? He's not going to get an MVP vote again. He started off strong, but with no Chris Carson, you're not being able to win games. You're forcing the football. I still think Dangerous is a top 3 quarterback, top 4 quarterback in this league when healthy, but his decision-making hasn't been good, right? And if you don't got a defense, one of the worst ever, not just this season, but all time. They're on pace to give up the most yards all time. And if that's the case, I can't put you in my top 10, Seattle, and you're not going to win the NFC West either. The Cardinals or the Rams are. And even though Seattle could still make the playoffs, I can't count on them doing anything, especially against all the talent with the Cardinals, the Rams, the Bucks, the Saints, the Packers. I just don't see them beating any of those teams. They got to be able to get better players on the O-line. They got to be able to manufacture better coaches for the defense. Maybe get Dan Quinn to come back in the building. I just don't see it. Number 7, the Arizona Cardinals. You got Kyler Murray. I got him in fantasy. You saw D-Hop. They got Christian Kirk. You got Kenyon Drake. You got Chase Edmonds. The defense with Budda Baker, all pro this season. Amazing. They are missing Chandler Jones, and they are missing a pass rush, and that might be their bugaboo for not being able to win the NFC West. But with that being said, even if they don't win the NFC West, no one is going to want to play the Cardinals in the playoffs. They could overachieve this season. They're about a year early. But sometimes that happens, especially with quarterbacks like Kyler Murray. He is not a Lamar Jackson. He's going to be a top 5 quarterback for many, many years moving forward. He is the real deal Holyfield. He's better than Lamar Jackson. He's better than Deshaun Watson. You got to start putting Kyler Murray in the same category as Aaron Rodgers, all right? Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson. You need to put Kyler in that same category. Number 7, the Arizona Cardinals. Number 6, the team that I think that has probably the best chance to win the NFC West because of their balance on offense and defense. Yes, Jared Goff and the Goffense sometimes struggles, but they got a guy named Aaron Donald, who's the best defensive player in the league. You got a guy named Jalen Ramsey, who's the king of shit-talking. All right, shut down DK Metcalf. He was a guy that was a top 5 corner. Then he got hurt, and maybe the motivation went away a little bit, and then he was maybe outside the top 10. Now when you see him this year, motivated, ready to go, shit-talking, everything is locked and loaded, locking down a guy like DK Metcalf that was arguably a top 3 wide receiver this season. Some people had him at 1 or 2, right? 2 grabs, barely any yards. He is the real deal. He's starting to come back into that top 3 corner consideration. Jair Alexander is the best corner this year, all right? But Jalen Ramsey, watch out. You're not going to want to fuck with him or Aaron Donald when they're coming. Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the Rams on Monday night, and I don't think I'm winning that game. Every game on primetime, the Bucs choke. Every time on primetime when I play a team that has good defense, I can't get it done. I lost to the Saints. I lost to the Bears, and then I got embarrassed by the Saints. Now I got the fucking Rams coming. I just don't know if I can win that game. I hope we can hang around, but don't be surprised if the Rams beat the Bucs. Don't be surprised if the Rams win the NFC West, and don't be surprised if they go to the NFC Championship game and win. I know that sounds crazy because their offense isn't as good as Seattle or Tampa Bay or the Saints or the Packers. I get it. Or maybe even the Cardinals. Maybe they have the sixth best offense, right, in the NFC, but their defense and their offense, when they're rolling at the same time, they got a guy named Sean McVay. Don't sleep on this guy. He's one of the best play callers in the league. I really love the balance that the Rams have, and they're definitely getting to a point where they can bounce back. So we'll see what happens in that Rams-Buccaneers game. That's going to say a lot for the roster moving forward. Randall, I see you. The choking ears, but you got Drew Brees, and guess what? He might not be healthy, and the next time that we play you guys, or someone else does, he might end up getting Drew Brees knocked the fuck out, and you guys ain't going to go to the fucking Super Bowl, all right? You guys might not even make the NFC Championship game if Drew doesn't come back. You ain't going to do it with Jameis Winston. You're not going to be able to do it with Taysom Hill because they're not going to put him there at quarterback. So say all you want with all the shit talking of beating the Buccaneers. You don't win the Super Bowl by beating the Buccaneers. You win the Super Bowl by getting past everyone, and if Drew can't stay healthy, it's lights out. You're not going to get there. You're not going to be able to beat a lot of teams if you can't get Drew healthy, and that's facts. Everyone knows it too. All right, you may not think that, but that's the bottom line because O-Dog said so. Number five is a team that I absolutely love. It's my team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We had the best performance, 46-23 against the Panthers, a good bounce-back game from getting destroyed from the Saints. 7-3 record. We needed that big win. We're still not a lock for the Super Bowl or NFC Championship game or even winning the NFC South with Drew being hurt. But if we can keep plugging away and we can keep making improvements week in and week out, we have a shot to be one of the top 5 teams in the NFC. And if anything happens, I mean, it's NFC. What can you say? Anything can literally happen, and like I said, it's not about who does good in September or who does good in October. It's about November and December, and that's really what we're going to see, who the best teams are, who can stay healthy, and who's got the best coaching that's going to lead you there. 46-23 against the Panthers, 7-3, my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We do struggle against teams that have good defenses. I get it, all right, but I definitely like the balance that the teams like the Rams and the Bucs and the Saints have when they're healthy. So we'll see if Drew can get there. Number 5, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 4 is a team that I like that doesn't have a strong defense, all right? But with that being said, they got that man. They got that guy, the Green Bay Packers, all right, at number 4. They got Aaron Rodgers, 24-20 against the Jags. It was an ugly win, all right? But you got Aaron Rodgers. And to me, that's the second best quarterback that's in this league with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes 1, Aaron Rodgers 2. And that's why this season, the MVP, even though Alvin Kamara, AK-41, right, the alien, deserves a vote, right? He's not going to get it. Dalvin Cook might deserve a vote. He's not going to get it, all right? But Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes is winning the MVP. Now, will they play against each other in the Super Bowl? Possibly. But you got other teams like the Saints that say otherwise. You got other teams like who? Like the Pittsburgh Steelers that say otherwise. Bang! Andre Calderon, $5. Thoughts on the latest AB situation? He's a crazy guy, throwing shit around, punching cameras. Like I said, I think if we scale back on the targets with him and start to get everyone else involved, he'll find his way. And we're going to need him if we're going to end up trying to win a playoff game. We're going to need AB. But getting back to the Packers at number 4, they don't have a defense. The Bucs have a better D. The Rams have a better D. The Cardinals and the Packers kind of have similar defenses. They got a couple guys out there, Budda Baker, Jair Alexander, but they don't have the full complement. But you got a guy named Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this guy just throws touchdowns. He doesn't throw picks. He doesn't throw pick sixes that often, even though my Bucs got one on him. I love his game. He's very confident. He's humble. And like I said, it's almost like the Packers are due for an NFC Championship game and a win to get to the Super Bowl. So don't be shocked if the Saints fail, the Rams fail, the Cardinals fail, the Bucs fail, and the Green Bay Packers succeed. And they represent the NFC because Aaron Rodgers, when he's hot, I don't give a shit what defense is out there. Obviously at times like when Tampa Bay played him, you saw what we could do. But when it comes to playoff time and Aaron Jones is healthy and Devontae Adams is out there, I'm not sure if Allen the Lizard Lazard, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to keep up with that Packer offense. And that's the team that probably has the best shot to represent the NFC now since Drew Brees got hurt. Unless Drew can come back 100%, then it might be the Saints. But for now, the Green Bay Packers at number 4. Number three is the best team in the NFC, but they had the big disappointment with Drew Brees getting injured. A couple cracked ribs on the right side, a couple cracked ribs on the left side, a punctured lung. They need Drew to be able to make the NFC Championship game. They can still win the NFC South without him. All right, you got an easy schedule. All right, the only team that you're going to lose to is the Chiefs. Right, but to be able to make the deep run, to beat the Packers, to beat the Bucks, the Rams, the Cardinals, the others, right? You're going to have Drew there. And if you don't, you probably would have to have Taysom Hill there, but I don't see them taking him away from the 5 other things that he does in the RPO, running back, wide receiver, tight end, special teams. I don't see it. They're just going to keep sticking with Jameis unless they lose like 3 in a row. If they lose 3 in a row, then that's the plug for Jameis. See you later. You're never a starting quarterback for the rest of your career. You're a backup, right? And then they'll go with Taysom because they have to. And then they'll just, elevate these other guys like Josh Hill and some of the other tight ends for his role. But I still love this team. Demario Davis is great. The defense is great, right? You got plenty of ballers out there. Obviously with A.J. Klein not being there and some of the other guys that left in the offseason, Von Bell, it seems like the chemistry isn't the same. I mean, when you guys had A.J. Klein there and you had Von Bell, it seemed like the chemistry was better. Malcolm Jenkins is doing his thing. You got Janoris Jenkins. I like what you get out of those players, but it doesn't seem the same, but you guys are very dominant. All right, offensive line is one of the best in football. AK-41 deserves an MVP vote. I'm a Bucs fan, and I said it, all right? But, he's not going to get it, but he's been so valuable to that roster. He catches the football. He pounds the rock. He can do trick plays. He's just been so consistent for the Saints by keeping them afloat, obviously like Michael Thomas and AK did when Drew was out last season. 27-13 against the Niners. You started off slow, but they started to pick up the momentum. And one thing the Saints are great at, even though I'm a Bucs fan, all right, they love to make adjustments at halftime, and they're one of the best at it. All right. The Chiefs make great adjustments, right? But the Saints are right up there too. When you see Sean Payton, sometimes he loses games for the Saints. Sometimes his play calling is booty and it's not good, right? But in other times, he makes the perfect calls and they execute beautifully. And before this Drew Brees injury, I mean, it was looking like the Saints have that path to be able to go 13-3 if they lose to the Chiefs, and they could get to the Super Bowl and compete, right? But with Drew being injured, that's really the wild card right now. It's like the one guy that you didn't want to get hurt besides AK-41, and it happened. But we'll see if they can recover, and they don't want to rush him back, all right? Because if you rush him back and he gets hurt, the chances of winning the Super Bowl or getting to the NFC Championship game or Super Bowl are going to be washed away. So you got to be really careful, when you bring him back. And hopefully they end up letting him rest for, more than 2 weeks. You guys can win almost all your games. I mean, you're fucking 7-2. You literally can finish the season 13-3 without him. Without him. You're that talented. You're that good. I'm a Bucs fan saying that. And you guys are that good where that can happen. So realize that, right? Don't push him. You know what I mean? A collapsed lung and broken ribs on both sides. I mean, let's be real. It's not something you're going to be okay after a week or two. I've never seen anyone on planet Earth recover from broken ribs and a punctured lung. I have guys that do motocross that I'm friends with and have had similar injuries. And they're not obviously a professional athlete like Drew Brees, but that's a type of injury where it takes a while to get right. And obviously he's going to have better doctors. He's going to have better medicine. I get it. But 2 weeks, I doubt it. I mean, they definitely need to have him rest at least a month, in my opinion. Number 3, the New Orleans Saints. Number 2 is the best team in football to me. They had a bye week. They're 8-1. They only lost to the Raiders. They got the best quarterback in football, Travis Kelce at tight end, the best tight end in football. We're talking about Patrick the Clone Mahomes, Showtime, and the Kansas City Chiefs. You play the Raiders this week. The Raiders have the blueprint. Will they be able to win again? And then their guys get COVID and are on COVID protocol, which sucks. So I hope all the Raiders players get healthy. But the Raiders can make a deep run because they have the blueprint against the best team in the game with the Chiefs not named the Steelers. So we'll have to see on how that plays out. That's going to be Sunday Night Football. I'm going to be there to do the live stream tomorrow for the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Chiefs, Raiders, and then Rams, Buccaneers. So I hope everyone can get in there, smash that like button, and donate to your boy, sub to the channel. The 20K giveaway and the 20K grind is real. But number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs, the most underrated defense in the league. The best coaching in the league. Besides Mike Tomlin this season, Andy Reid, Coach Bieniemy can be a coach on any fucking football team that he wants, but I hope he stays. The defense flies around. They got a lot of guys that aren't really big names, but they work well together. Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Honey Badger is a top 3 safety in this league, and he proved it last season. He was the most valuable player on that defense besides Patrick Mahomes overall on the team last season. Without Honey Badger, there is no championship for the Chiefs last season. I absolutely love this team. This is my prediction for them to go to the Super Bowl and win back-to-back. I know a lot of y'all that aren't Chiefs fans don't want to hear it, but I'm a Bucs fan. I call it right down the middle, right? I don't have any bias, but I think this team is built for long-term success, and I think the Chiefs are going to do it. You can't go against Patrick Mahomes, period. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 1, the best team in football, led by Coach Tomlin, that's never had a losing season in 14 years. 9-0. Should get some votes for Coach of the Year. 36-10 over the Bengals. I like this team with Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, James Conner, Benny Snell. Big Ben revenge tour. But they got guys on defense like Bud Dupree, Minka Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt. So they got the best defense in football. They got great coaching, but they have seen some weaknesses, especially against Dallas, which was a little concerning. I got to see a Chiefs-Steelers AFC Championship game, and really the biggest threat to the Chiefs, besides the Raiders, is the Steelers. The Raiders have the blueprint, but the Steelers have a quality football team, and I hope we get the AFC Championship game that us fans deserve. Chiefs-Steelers AFC Championship game. NFL Week 11 picks and power rankings with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or a GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Follow us, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatics. And we're getting closer and closer to 20K. So if you guys can sub to the channel, share it on your Facebook, share it on Twitter, Facebook, all the fleet. I guess this is the new video thing that they have on Twitter now. Just make sure you're sharing the videos for your boy. I'd greatly appreciate it because, like I said, I want to be able to do the giveaway for the channel. I've been looking heavy for, obviously, the Xbox X, and the PS5s are really hard to come by here in Oregon, but I'm going to keep looking. And then once we start getting the YouTube money to kind of start rolling in and I get my paycheck, I'm going to try to do some jersey giveaways, at least to start off. I still want to do the PS5 if I can find one, but in the meantime, if I can give away a jersey in November, give away one in December, maybe 1 or 2 in January, I want to be able to give back and say thank you to the fans because you guys are the best fans on planet Earth. Looks like we have 3 more likes from 30, so if you guys can smash that like button right now for me, it's good for analytics and metrics. We got $20 in donations for a Power Ranking Picks of the Week video. So I went over the Power Rankings twice, which no other YouTube personality ever would after I even started it. I've already been on, the live stream for over an hour, but you guys are the best fans on planet Earth. So I didn't mind going through the list and going over the explanation more than once. So let's go now into the picks of the week. So this looks like it's going to end up being about a 2-hour live stream. We're already about an hour in. So everyone open up their browsers. All right, open up your phones. If you got an extra box open for that, right, depending on what kind of device that you're on. And let's go through the games this week for Week 11 for the picks of the week, all right? So the first matchup is going to be Thursday Night Football. I'm going to do the live stream tomorrow, all right, November 19th. We got the Cardinals 6-3 versus the Seahawks 6-3. Seattle's favored by 3 for now, but it sounds like Chris Carson is out. It sounds like Tyler Lockett may be out, and if they don't have Chris Carson in the lineup, they're not going to win this game. Period. So I'm not really sure what the score is going to be in this game, but I would assume that the Cardinals will throw up at least 34 points. Maybe the Seahawks can throw up maybe 24, so maybe like a 34-24 type of matchup. But I don't see the Seahawks winning this game with no Carson. You know what I mean? You can still have, other options like Carlos Hyde, but Carlos Hyde is not Chris Carson, and they haven't been able to find a way to have that persona, that aura that Carson brings. When Carson's playing, he's a top 10 running back in the league. Sometimes his stats prove that he's top 5 in the league. He's very reliable, and if Tyler Lockett's not in there, and then you end up having Patrick Peterson, lined up on DK Metcalf, he shut him down once. He may do it again. So I want you guys to comment below, who do you guys think is going to win tomorrow's game that I'm going to live stream? The Cardinals on the road, 6-3, or the Seahawks, 6-3? Who do you guys got? I got Cardinals winning by at least 10 in the matchup. I think maybe like a 34-24 kind of matchup. Kyler goes off. Maybe D-Hop, maybe Christian Kirk has a touchdown or two. But like I said, if they don't have, you think Seahawks bounce back? Even if Carson doesn't play and Tyler Lockett's out, you think that they're going to win that game? No way. 0% chance. If they have Carson, right, and Tyler Lockett healthy, then of course they could win that game. And it could be maybe by like 3 or 4 points. But they're not going to win that game if those two guys are out. That's facts. You really think so? I don't think so, man. I mean, the Cardinals are on the road and they're off an emotional win. And usually when you're off an emotional win, you go to the next game and you lose. That's usually what happens 99% of the time. I get it. All right? The Hail Murray. I get it. Usually that next game, you have an emotional loss after an emotional win because you're just feeling yourself, right? But you got to have weapons out there. Their defense can't stop a fucking nosebleed. All right? Seattle's. All right? And if Carson doesn't play, right? And Tyler Lockett, so you're telling me that David Moore and DK are going to be able to have enough with Russ? It's possible. It's possible, but I just don't see it, man. I see the Cardinals and the Rams trending upwards, and I have Seattle kind of trending downwards. That's facts. Nola, go make a remix, my guy. Lazy dog. Do something. Do something, my guy. Go make some music instead of begging. You feel me? Don't be lazy. Grind, my guy. Get some work ethic. So I got 34-24 Cardinals. All right, so next matchup. We got the Eagles, 3-5-1. Disappointing performance, obviously, against the Giants, right? Against the 6-3 Browns. Vegas line is Cleveland Browns by 3.5. Who do you guys have in that matchup? I wish the Eagles, I could feel confident and be like, you know what? This could be an emotional springboard win. If they want to be able to win the division. Their schedule is so fucking tough the rest of the season. I don't really know how many more games the Eagles are going to win, maybe 1 or 2. It's not looking good. It's going to be tough. So, I mean, and obviously with Nick Chubb back and Kareem Hunt, I don't like Baker Mayfield, but I think with the Browns being 6-3, who knows if they're going to make the playoffs, but I just don't have enough faith in the Eagles on the road to win this game. I got the Browns winning this game. Calvin says 73-8. Oh, shit. Oh, man. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. So let me hear it. Comment below how much you guys think. I mean, the Browns game last week, who would have thought that? A lot of people lost money. 10-7 against the Texans? No one thought that. The Browns are going to get more points. And obviously Nick Chubb, went out of bounds because they wanted to be able to win the game. All right. They wanted to be able to win the game and not give the Texans another opportunity. Not like Todd Gurley when he got, greedy and he wanted to get in that touchdown. So I definitely got the Browns winning. It could be closer than people think, even though they think the Browns are going to blow the Eagles out. But the Browns only put up fucking 10. But I think Nick Chubb goes off for at least 2 touchdowns, over 110 yards. So I got the Browns winning this game. Maybe... Let's think. What could the score be? 27-20? Maybe 27-17? Something like that. I think that they can win by more than 3, even though it's 3.5. But I think the Browns, if Nick Chubb goes off, they're not going to have an answer for that. Kareem Hunt, they got the best duo at running back right there. Browns defense is legit. They're 6-3. Baker doesn't have to play great for them to win. They can just hand the ball off. And since Odell Beckham got hurt, it seems like they've typically played better when he's not in the lineup. I don't know why that is. Maybe just more opportunities, less pressure for him to get maybe Odell the ball. I don't think Odell's a cancer, one bit. You know what I mean? But it just seems like the offense is more open when Odell is not in the lineup, and they're starting to win games. They're 6-3, so I got the Browns winning. How about y'all? What do you guys have? 23-20 Eagles. That would be big. That would be big. 24-14. Game Central. Who do you have winning? Eagles or Browns? You just put 24-14. Browns 34-21. I'm thinking that too. So, Ryan, I want my Eagles to win, but if we don't and we get this play calling together, it's going to be a long Sunday. I know. But also, too, imagine this. If you lose a bunch of these games, which the schedule is not in your favor the rest of the season, right, you could end up getting, some kind of great players in the draft. I'm not saying move on from Wentz. immediately, right? But there's going to be players in the draft. You guys are going to be climbing up, the draft board quite a bit. So I hope the Eagles put up a fight, but I got the Browns winning that game as well. Next matchup, we got the Atlanta Falcons at 3-6. And the New Orleans Saints at 7-2. Nola, Winston is on your fucking team, all right? He's not on Tampa Bay. He's on your bummy-ass Saints, all right? He's on your fucking team. Not my team, your team. You got work ethic like Jameis Winston, Nola. You lazy as hell. Atlanta Falcons, 3-6 versus the New Orleans Saints, 7-2. New Orleans is favored by 5 in Vegas. Obviously, the Saints are one of the best teams in football, and even if Jameis Winston starts, as long as he doesn't throw fucking 5 interceptions, they're going to win this game. It's kind of a trap game, though, because if you think about it, the Falcons aren't, no one's going to really pick the Falcons really to win this game, but if Matt Ryan, Todd Gurley, Julio, Calvin Ridley's got a foot issue, but, you end up having other options that could step up. Will they be able to step up? I don't know, but it is kind of a trap game. But you got to think with the Saints and their talent, as long as Jameis doesn't fuck up the whole game, the defense is good. AK-41 can go off. They don't have to throw the ball a lot. Jameis would only have to throw the ball maybe 15 times, and they could just hand it off to AK or do screen passes. Hayden Hurst for Atlanta could be an X factor, especially if Calvin Ridley's not there. What do we think in this game? Do we think that Atlanta has any shot to spoil the Saints? Or is this just going to be Saints just steamrolling the shit out of Atlanta? Atlanta's defense is bad. So they're 3-6, but they've gotten better in the last few weeks. What do we think? I have to think the Saints are going to win. They're favored by 5. They're at home. I just can't see Matt Ryan winning this game unless Jameis is Jameis like he was last season for Tampa Bay. He may sling it and fling it, but if he ends up throwing 3 picks or fumbling the football, they're not going to stop AK-41. He'll be able to get into the end zone plenty, all right? We already know that. But who else? And we got to be able to see the rhythm of the game. The defense could score on Matt Ryan. They could get a special teams touchdown as well. Sean Payton spanks the Falcons 34-17. 35-31 Falcons with the upset. Ooh. 27-17, Jeremy Gates has Saints. And I'm a Bucs fan, right? Knew Winston, so we win. And yeah, and you talked all that shit about how horrible he was. You're just a bandwagon, Nola. He's trash. He's stupid. I hate him. And then he comes to your team. Oh, I love him. I bought his jersey. I love the guy. He's so one-sided, my guy. But I got the Saints winning the game. They're going to improve to 8-2, even with no issues with the coaching, with no Drew Brees. They'll be able to find a way. Michael Thomas hasn't really done shit since he's come back. He ain't the number 1 receiver anymore. He's got a long ways to go to get that title back. You know what I mean? And we don't know how healthy he is. Is he 100%? 90, 95? But, has he really been an impact player since he came back in the lineup? No, he hasn't done shit. All right? He'll be out there as a decoy, right? And he'll be able to get better and better each week. But it's really about AK-41. Let's be real. I know more than you, Nola. All right? And that's facts. All right, next matchup. We got the Bengals at 2-6-1 against the Washington football team at 2-7. Now, this one is interesting. Who can win this matchup? Is Alex Smith going to actually win this matchup? Throwing for almost 400 yards last week, right? And then losing a heartbreaker with a 59-yarder to Matt Prater from the Lions? Or are we going to see Joe Burrow go off? You know what I mean? Washington's favored by 1.5. Washington is at home. This one's tough to call because Joe Burrow is thirsty. Alex Smith is thirsty as well. Gosh, I don't know. It could go either way. You would have to think that the Bengals would win this game, but maybe Alex Smith. If Alex Smith, duels Joe Burrow and he dinks and doinks, they got enough weapons at running back, where they could sprinkle the football, to a lot of their players. Gibson's been playing pretty good. I've been picking up, some of their players, through fantasy football, but Gibson's been a horse, right? So maybe he ends up getting into the end zone and they do a lot of screen passes. I don't know. I got McKissick, at my flex, you know what I mean? So maybe both of them can win. So even though the Bengals don't really have a D, Joe Burrow and T. Higgins are great, right? But I got to think, is the Washington football team, unless they're trying to tank and not win the game, but we got to think the Washington football team's got a chance in this game. So we got to see where that goes. We got to see where that goes. So I think let's go for Washington. Let's go for Alex Smith. Let's root for him. Watch it, Nola. Don't make me turn my back on you. I won't listen to your music anymore. I won't support you anymore. With all this bullshit that you do in the comments, trying to throw me under the bus on your Instagram. Check yourself. Check yourself. If you want your number one supporter to go poof and go away and not support you, all right, not listen to your music, not shout you out with all this Orion Winston bullshit, I can gladly stop, my guy. All right? Watch yourself. Bengals, Washington. I got Washington winning the game. Alex Smith. Next matchup. We got the Detroit Lions at 4-5 or the Carolina Panthers at 3-7. What do we think about that matchup there? Carolina's favored by 1.5. No run CMC. And then Matthew Stafford has got a fucking thumb or a finger ligament issue. So, and Bridgewater's banged up as well. So, I don't know. Both teams are banged up. Gosh, I just don't know who's going to win that matchup. The Panthers defense got killed, but they're going to be at home. It really kind of just depends, I guess, on Matthew Stafford and Bridgewater, who's going to be healthy. So I got to think that the Lions are going to win that game on the road. I know that's heartbreaking, for Panthers fans. They got Mike Davis, they got DJ Moore, they got Curtis Samuel, they got Robbie Anderson. I like those pieces, but with Teddy Two Gloves injured and not 100%, no run CMC, the defense has been reeling. I got to think that the Lions and DeAndre Swift and the weapons that they have with Marvin Jones and that defense will be able to find a way. Someone's got to win a game on the road, so I'm going to go Lions winning that game, maybe 2017, a type of game like that. Well, I don't know why you call me Orion Winston. What is the point of that, Nola? It's like if you're just shit talking to a 5-year-old. You got to come up with better comebacks than that. That's like something a 5-year-old would say. Orion Winston? What kind of dumb shit is that, bro? Winston's on your team. All right? You're really losing a step in the rap game, my guy. The contract, poof, it's gone. Lil Wayne, jail for 10 years. He's not going to sign you. All right? Orion Winston? That's the best you got? Come on, man. That's the best you got? Sad, 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 Nola. Sad, sad, sad. Contract, poof, goodbye. Next matchup, we got the Steelers at 9-0 versus the 1-8 Jags. Obviously, we already know who's going to win that game. Steelers are going to go 10-0. All right, so that's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Steelers should win that game by at least 7. Probably 10 or more, but with the Jags being 1-8, they played, Jake Luton, Mr. Luton from Oregon State has been playing pretty good. DJ Shark might be able to play, on a proper level, but, maybe the Steelers struggle in this matchup. We will see, but Pittsburgh 10-0. I don't think anyone thinks that the Steelers are going to drop that game. So let's go back. Anyone think the Lions and Panthers? We got Panthers 24-27. All right, I see that. So I got the Lions winning that one. Steelers and Jags, everyone is going to think that the Steelers are going to win the game. All right, let's go. Next matchup, we got the Titans at 6-3 versus the Ravens at 6-3. The battle of the pretenders. We got contenders and we got pretenders. Both of these teams might be pretenders. I am not fucking sold on the Ravens. They're the team that is probably the team that has the best record in the AFC that I have no confidence in whatsoever. They're not going to win a playoff game. I don't have any confidence. With no Marshall Yanda there, no running game. Defense is piss poor. Titans didn't look good against the Colts, but Baltimore's at home. They're favored by 6.5. All right. So what do you guys think in that matchup? The battle of 6-3s. The battle of 6-3s. Do we got the Titans or the Ravens? Well, Nola, if you spent more time working on your music than fucking around on Instagram and then getting your fucking head messed up by dealing with a bunch of fucking stupid-ass people on fucking social media, you wouldn't have to disable your Instagram or social media. You just focus on fucking doing your music, right? Stop worrying about fucking PS5. Stop worrying about girls. Stop worrying about talking shit to me every fucking day. While I'm at work, go get a goddamn job, start grinding on your fucking music, and shit will happen. Get focused, my guy. You spend way too much time fucking around on Instagram. Selfies, fucking all this extra bullshit that doesn't matter. Get the fuck out of here with that, man. Come on now. You're too talented for that. You're too talented for that. Grind, 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 my guy. Facts. He said, my tape done. We'll make another one. Keep grinding, my guy. Titans, Ravens. All right, Skylar Logic says 28-31 Titans. What else? I don't know, man. Ravens are at home. I don't like the Ravens at all, but I got to think that they're going to be able to find a way to be able to win this game. I like the Titans more as a team, all right? But I think the Ravens, I mean, they're desperate out there. Maybe Lamar Jackson finds a way to get Mark Andrews in the end zone once or twice. Maybe the defense makes some plays. I don't like either really of these teams that much. The Titans more. But let's go Ravens 23-20 over the Titans. Ravens by 10, Derek Tyler says. Could be. Should be a pretty good game, though. Both teams are 6-3. So we'll see where it goes. All right, next matchup, we got the Patriots at 4-5 versus the Texans at 2-7. I definitely got the Patriots winning that matchup easily. New England's favored by 2 on the road. I mean, Deshaun Watson, I feel sorry for the guy. They need a lot more help than what they're getting right now. But I like where New England is trending. Jacoby Myers, Rex Burkhead. Cam is starting to look like he's having fun out there as well. Definitely got the Patriots winning this game. This one could get ugly. What are we thinking? 31-17, Pats? What are we thinking? A-Guy says they're both on a downward spiral. Yeah, agreed. Patriots, Lenny D says Pats. Anyone think a score? 31-17 or something similar to that? Or do you guys think it's going to be closer? You think it's going to be like a 24-21 kind of game? Or do we think that the Patriots are going to blow them out? Anyone think that they got a score? I'm thinking it might be a blowout. I think it might be time for them to be able to make that done. 31-21, Calvin. I like that score. That's a good one. Definitely could see that. And who do you got winning, Calvin? Pats? I would assume so. I don't think anyone thinks the Texans are going to win that game. All right, next matchup. We got the Miami Dolphins at 6-3 versus the Denver Broncos. They're at 3-6. Miami's favored by 3 on the road. I got Dolphins, no question. I love Tua. I like Flores. I like the defense. They're rolling. They might win the AFC East. They might win the AFC East in Tua's rookie year over Buffalo and the Pats. So I got to think that even Tua doesn't have to play great, all right, but I think that Tua can get it done. They can hand the ball off. They can throw. They got good defense, but I got the Dolphins winning that game. What do I think the Dolphins are going to win the game by, though? That's the question. They got 29 last week, 29-21 against the Chargers. What are we thinking this week? What are we thinking this week? Like 27-16? Dolphins? Something like that? But I got the Dolphins winning that matchup, even though they're on the road. It's really impressive to see what Tua has been doing. Dolphins versus Broncos on the road. Lenny D. Drew Lock sometimes plays good. Sometimes is not, on pace with his, with his team. But I like the defense. I like the coaching. I got to think the Dolphins are going to be able to find the way. 30-17 Dolphins. Jeremy Gates, I like that score. All right, next matchup. Let's take a look. Who do we got? Next matchup, we got the Chargers 2-7 at home versus the Jets that are 0-9. Does anyone really think the Jets can win this game? No. Justin Herbert got a haircut, and obviously that's the thing that they're talking about on social media, which is fucking stupid. Like, let's talk about something other than Justin Herbert getting a fucking haircut. Is that really what we're coming to? Where Justin Herbert gets a haircut and looks like a 17-year-old, and he cut his long hair away, and that's what the guys in NFL Network that they're talking about? Fucking dumb. Jets are not winning the game. Chargers are up by 8.5 in Vegas. Chargers should get a big win. What are we thinking? What are we thinking in this game? 27-17 Chargers? Or do we think that the Chargers are going to get... He said Jets 10-9. No way. There's no way. Not with my boy Justin Herbert, my guy. Yeah, Chargers will find a way. They're big. They're at 31-17. I like that score. 35-10 could be that. We don't know. I know. Jamison Crowder will have a shot to be able to make some plays, but somewhere between 10 and 17 points is what the Jets are going to put up. So I agree there. Now this is where it gets a little bit tougher as we're getting to the end of the schedule. All right, next matchup: Green Bay Packers 7-2 on the road in Indianapolis against the Colts that are 6-3. Both playoff teams, both kind of playing at the high point right now. Indy's favored by 2. Are we going Colts at home or Packers on the road? Now, Colts have a great defense, and they got one of the best offensive lines in football, and they got Quentin Nelson, the best offensive line, right? Naheem Hines should go off. Jordan Wilkins should go off. They got plenty of weapons at running back. Jonathan Taylor, should be able to have some opportunities as well. And the Colts are at home. They usually take care of business at home. But I can't go against Aaron Rodgers. At 7-2. I mean, unless the defense is like Seattle that game and they can't stop a nosebleed. But they got Jair Alexander. I think Allen the Lizard Lazard will be back, right? You got Aaron Jones. You got Devontae Adams. So I got to think that the Packers are going to be able to find a way because they're one of my favorite teams that's in the NFC. I think they can represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, even though their defense is questionable. Yeah, you got the Saints. Yeah, you got the Bucks. Yeah, you got the Cardinals. Yeah, you got the Rams. I get it. But I really like the way that Aaron Rodgers has been playing football this season. Pretty much watched all his games this season. I know what he's about. It'll be a tough win. Most people are going to pick the Colts to win this game because their defense is elite. All right, they're at home. But who do I trust more, Phillip Rivers or Aaron Rodgers? I'm going Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going the Packers with the win. And then let's see, with the win. Maybe 28-20 Packers. But I got Packers winning. It looks like all y'all are picking the Colts. So I'm going to pick the Packers because I think that they're going to be able to find a way to win on the road because I love Aaron Rodgers. I love what he's about. He's the man. He's the real deal. Mr. Discount Double Check. I got the Packers winning on the road. Next matchup, we got the Cowboys 2-7 versus the Vikings 4-5. They're starting to kind of get hot at the right time. Of course, Minnesota's going to win. They're favored by 7 in Vegas. So I got the Vikings winning this game. And this one should be ugly. 31-17, 31-13. Definitely, I think the Vikings can throw up a 30-burger on the Cowboys. Cowboys should score less than 20 in this matchup. It could get ugly. Dalvin Cook could score 2 times, 3 times. You got Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen could get in the end zone. And the defense could score, or special teams could score in this game as well. Vikings 42-3, Vikings by 17. It should get pretty ugly. Gerald, black and gold, light toes. What up, peeps? It's like, wish you could have did the NBA draft. I know. Well, the channel's more NFL. I have it on in the background. And a lot of the fans that watch this channel, we like NFL and wrestling more than the NBA. The NBA is kind of trash. Let's be honest. I mean, the big news was LaMelo Ball, right? James Wiseman going to Golden State, and obviously LaMelo Ball going to the Charlotte Hornets. But a lot of these guys that you see on the screen, no one knows who the fuck they are, even if you watch a lot of college football. The NBA doesn't have the same flair anymore. It sucks, dude. Bottom line. You can. I mean, I still watch Dame Dollar, and I still like watching certain players like Ja Morant and Luka. But the NBA is weak. It's not the same. NFL is better. College football is better. Wrestling is better. That's facts. But I hear you. The thing that you need to focus on, Gerald, is this week in fantasy football, where I get my fucking revenge from week 2 from losing by 1 goddamn point. You're in 3rd. Zini Panini, I crushed her by like 50. She was 2nd. Omer's 1st. I'm sitting in 4th. I need this win. I see your record. All right, I see your record. You're in 3rd. I'm in 4th. Top 4 teams out of 10 make the fantasy football playoffs, and it should be you, me, Zini Panini, and Omer. And realistically, Omer's going to win it all again because he's got Mahomes and he's got Dalvin Cook, right? And he's got Kareem Hunt and Chris Carson and Tyler Lockett. I mean, his team is fucking stacked, right? And Mark Andrews, right? But I think our teams have a shot. Between you and me, I think Zini Panini's kind of starting to go on a downward spiral a little bit, and this is going to be a close matchup. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat you, but it should go down to the wire. I do check out your records. I do check out your points and the matchup. I'm looking forward to the matchup. You got a quality team. You did a great job drafting this season, and you've really run away with a lot of wins. You're on a 5 or 6 game win streak. Salute to you, my guy. You did a great job for playing fantasy football, I believe, for the very first time. Congrats to you. All right, so next matchup. Obviously, we all know that Vikings are going to beat the Cowboys. Kip has taken the Colts. No problem. I think 90% of the league is going to take the Colts because they got a great defense, right? They smashed the fuck out of the Titans, who are probably a playoff team, right? They're favored by 2, right? So it's not really maybe an upset alert with the Colts, Kip, because they are favored by 2 in Vegas. right? But I like Aaron Rodgers more. I think he can make the plays, especially with Allen the Lizard Lazard making it happen. Cowboys 22-20 over the Vikings. Could you imagine? Vikings are too hot right now, though. Vikings are way too hot at this point. All right, Chiefs versus the Raiders, right, on Sunday Night Football. All the Raiders players on defense have COVID. They have COVID protocol. Let's hope that they all get cleared. Raiders beat the Chiefs earlier in the season for their only loss. John Gruden has the blueprint. What do we think about this game? This game is no longer in Kansas City. It's in Vegas. So, I mean, realistically, the Raiders, if all their guys get cleared from COVID, they could win this game. The Las Vegas Raiders, they could win this game. It's possible. But since they already won the first time around, I got to think Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce and the squad, Tyreek the Freak Hill, they're going to find a way. They'll be motivated. They know they lost that game. I got the Chiefs. They're the best team in football. Yeah, the Steelers are undefeated, but the Chiefs are the best team in football. I got the Chiefs winning this game, but it could be closer than we think. It just depends on the Raiders' defense. Are they going to be able to contain Patrick Mahomes and their weapons? And I think that they're not. I think they're going to be able to put up points on the offensive side of the ball. Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, Nelson Aguilar has been amazing for them this season, right? But I don't think they have an answer for anybody on offense for the Chiefs. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire, make him stare Helaire, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think he'll go off. I think the Chiefs win this game, and I think they win by at least 10 in this matchup. They're favored by 7.5, so maybe a 33-23 kind of game, but I got Chiefs Kingdom winning this matchup and getting revenge on this matchup here. What do you guys think? 400-3, 28-21, 38-24. Okay. Raiders 38-31. A guy, Raiders. Of course you're going to say that because you're a Raider fan. And if they do win, that really puts a blueprint for the Raiders to be, okay, you got the Steelers. Yeah, you got the Chiefs. But the third best team, you got the Titans and the Bills and the Colts. We might have to start talking about the Raiders. I know the Dolphins are kind of new and they're kind of a sexy team. But if the Raiders win this weekend and they get 2 wins on the Chiefs and they play again in the playoffs, there's a chance that the Raiders could overachieve and make the AFC Championship game. I'm not saying they're going to get there and they're going to win, but if they win this game against the Chiefs, everyone is going to be aware that they have the blueprint, and the Chiefs are going to try to do anything and everything not to play them again, period. Because if you end up playing them again and you lose this game and you get swept by the Raiders, they have the blueprint. They have John Gruden. I don't see it happening, but it could happen. All right, John Gruden is an excellent coach. They're 6-3. They're at home. But Patrick Mahomes is that guy. He's special. He's that dude. All right. And the last matchup, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, my team, 7-3, versus the Los Angeles Rams, 6-3. I'm at home. It's going to be Monday Night Football. I'm favored by 4. Every time that I thought that the Bucs were going to win or I predicted them to win on prime time, I've lost. So I'm going to predict that the Rams are going to win the game. All right, they got a better, their defense with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. I got a good defense as well, right? But it just seems like on prime time, right, I just can't get it done. So maybe if I pick against my team, right, that the Buccaneers can find a way to win the game. That's my thinking of it. If I pick the Bucs, we're going to lose. If I pick the Rams, maybe the Buccaneers can maybe not play like they did against the Panthers, but maybe I can squeak out a 2019 win or a 23-20 win with a field goal by suck up to win the game. But the Rams are legit. I could definitely see the Rams representing the NFC, at the end of the day. Yeah, you got the Packers. Yeah, you got the Saints, the Bucs, the Cardinals. But the Rams, they got a good offense and defense. They got good balance. Robert Woods is very underrated, right? It just depends if we can get to Jared Goff or not, and if their guys can get to Tom Brady. It's really going to be the battle in the trenches. So it's a real tough game to choose. I'm at home, which favors me. You know what I mean? But I just don't know. I just don't know if we're going to be able to win this game. So I'm going to pick the Rams. I'm going to go against my team, and then hopefully in prime time they actually show up, because it seems like every time in prime time, Saints, Bears, Saints, we just find a way to lose. Now we were going to play the Raiders, and obviously that got shifted, in the schedule. That would have been on prime time. Played the Packers and won that. Donald could probably get 2 or 3 sacks. All right, reverse psychology. I got to go that way. All right. I got to go that way. So that is the matchup. So we got some great games. Exactly. Why? You got it. Yeah, they solid defensive line, solid secondary. They got Jalen Ramsey. If they can get pressure on Brady and he doesn't have time to go through his progressions and they stop the running game, you can't count on Brady to be able to get me 30 points if the running game gets shut down. And that's facts. I need Rojo and Fournette. I need those guys to get going early and often. If we don't get going early and often with the running game, we're screwed. But they did make a change and put A.Q. Shipley at center, so they made adjustments. So maybe we can find a way to contain Aaron Donald and Ramsey, not stop them all the way, but contain them. But I'm praying that the Bucs can get that win because I really need that, for the confidence, moving forward. Man, no, I'm definitely not a Rams fan. All right, I respect the hell out of them. I'm a Bucs fan through and through. But every time I picked them in prime time, they've gotten their ass kicked. I got to do some reverse psychology, my guy. But Tampa is one of those teams that really needs the run game to open up the pass. Some teams don't need it, like Mahomes. They don't need the run game to open up the pass. Mahomes is unbelievable, right? Aaron Rodgers doesn't need the run game to open up the pass. All right, but we're talking about a 43-year-old Tom Brady. He needs that running game to open up so they don't stack 8 or 9 in the box. So that way I can get the flow with Gronk and Godwin, Mike Evans, fly like a butterfly, sting like AB, and that's facts. So NFL Week 11 picks and power rankings with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Follow us, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Let's take a look to see where we're at in the sub count. And I appreciate everyone that has smashed the like button. Looks like we got 35. Not bad, for just doing a power ranking and picks of the week. $20 in donos. Thank you so much. We're at, 19,840? So, 160? So, there's been some, troll accounts that have added and subbed and then taken their sub away. So, we'll see. We only need about 160 more. Gilberto Zapata. Bang! $5. My guy. Thank you, man. Appreciate you very much. But I'm going to be doing the Cardinals and the Seahawks game tomorrow. I know Gilberto will be there. He'll be throwing down some donations, screaming at the TV, enjoying himself. I got the Cardinals winning tomorrow, so I'll be doing the Cardinals and Seahawks. I'm really excited to see what they can do. I hope Chris Carson plays, and I hope Tyler Lockett plays, but it sounds like there's a good chance that both will miss the game. But, David Moore could step up. Carlos Hyde could step up as well. I'm excited for that. Then on Sunday night, Raiders and Chiefs. And then Monday night, the Rams and the Bucs. I mean, if we're talking about 3 quality matchups, that might be the best 3 matchups that we've seen back to back to back. Think about it. Cardinals, Seahawks, everyone's going to watch, right? Everyone wants to see Kyler versus Russ, especially after what happened, right? Then you get the Raiders. And the Chiefs, good matchup, especially when the Raiders already won round 1, right? And then after that, right? Then you end up getting the Rams and the Bucs for me on Monday night. I mean, that's exciting. That's exciting. Jose says, I'll donate tomorrow. Just broke. Hey, it's okay, man. I know a lot of y'all will donate, and you can wait to the game. Like I said, if you sub to the channel, smash the like button, donate to your boy. If you have other accounts that you guys can sub to, with different emails, that'll help. We only need about 160 more. And I want to give this stuff away, man. I want to start looking more heavy for the PS5, the Xbox X, but I'm going to do at least a jersey giveaway to start off. And then when more money starts coming in, because obviously with YouTube, it's always a month behind. So everything that I did in October, I'm going to get that in a couple days. Everything that I've worked hard for this month, I'm not going to get until December, before a few days before Christmas. So for the time being, before, the game system or the games get given away, I definitely want to at least give away, some jerseys, or maybe a jersey and a hat, or a jersey and a t-shirt, of your favorite team. I want to do something special, depending on if we can find a sewn jersey, or a screen print. If it's a screen print, maybe a screen print jersey for 100 and a t-shirt for like 20. Or 25, or maybe a sewn for 150 if I can find one that's in your size, for the winners. But I want to try to do one a month if possible, or maybe more. Once we hit that 20K, it really depends on the fans. Because it sounds like Omer Muich might throw down something crazy once I hit 20K. So once that 20K number comes, he might throw down like $500. I mean, he threw down, 250, and $375 last season in 3 consecutive weeks. One individual hardcore fan $1,000. I mean, if that's not love, I don't know what love is. And a lot of y'all show the love. You show the appreciation. You see the hard work. You see the passion. You see the energy. I already worked, a 9-10 hour day. And then as soon as I got home, I started doing my research for my power rankings, and getting everything situated. The NBA draft is on. But like I said, I'm not going to miss days. I'm 150% dedicated to the channel. This is my entire life. You guys are the best fans on planet Earth. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys keep me going, even when I'm tired and I have nothing left when I come home. When I see the, computer, the iMac in the studio, and I think about you guys and talking about football, or there's a game on, or, NBA coverage or NFL, it definitely gives me that extra energy, to be able to be like, you know what? I'm tired, but I can rest later. I can rest later. No one works harder. I mean, look at all the Randall knows. Look at that. I'm one of the hardest working YouTubers that's out there. And a lot of YouTubers don't only do YouTube. Right? So they have plenty of time to sleep in. They have plenty of time to, grab breakfast, grab lunch, hang out with their friends, and then record whenever they want. There's not a lot of people out there that have full-time jobs for 9 or 10-hour days, Monday through Friday, and record after. It's hard. It's a hard, it's a hard thing, but if you want your dreams to come true, you got to be dedicated. You got to be passionate. You got to have the resiliency. You can't quit. And you got to put out a lot of quality content. I ended up doing 3 reaction videos yesterday. If you guys didn't see them, I decided to grind, even though I was tired as fuck yesterday. But I have to do it because I want to have it as part of the library for the channel in the future. So I did the Bills Cardinals with the Hail Murray, right, with obviously Kyler Murray and D-Hop. I did the Niners and the Saints because I always take care of the Saints fans no matter what. And I did the Bucks and the Panthers. So I'm always grinding. I'm always putting in work. And that was probably 3 hours of work that I put in, almost as long as a live stream. Then I'm doing this one, and we're about 2 hours in for this as well. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate that you understand, Randall, that I am one of the hardest working YouTubers on fucking YouTube. I feel I put out great content. You got the green screen, you got the thumbnail, you see all the presentation's been improved. And like I said, I can't wait for the game tomorrow. So hop in. I'll do a little preview in the community section. So you'll see the Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks photo. And like I said, make sure you thumb that when you see it in the community section. I will be doing the game. I'll do Sunday Night Football. I'll also do Monday Night Football. So you guys make sure you take care. Like I said, smash that like button. We need 4 more for 40. So if you haven't smashed that like button just yet, please do. $5 more to 30, 4 more likes to 40. And I know a lot of people will go back and watch this tonight if they're busy watching the NBA draft. But I appreciate all your guys' input. I appreciate everyone that hops in the room that shows support. I appreciate all the mods, Lenny D, Crystal, Kip. I even appreciate young Nola sometimes being an idiot and harassing me all day and all night, all right, because that's what he does, all right? You know what I mean? But I always represent as much as I can for every single person in the room. I call it right down the middle, no matter if you're a Saints fan, an Eagles fan, a Patriot fan, it doesn't matter. That's why people love this channel, the hard work, the great content. And like I said, I can't wait for tomorrow, Cardinals and the Seahawks. All right? NFL Week 11 picks and power rankings with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or a GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Follow us, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, at NW Sports Fanatics. So is there any other last-second questions that you guys have for matchups, questions about fantasy football, anything that's like NFL related? Other than that, if there's nothing else that anyone wants to comment on in the room, I'm going to call it a night. I got some extra research and film and reading to do. So I feel that everyone is pretty much, I pretty much already went over all the picks. I did the power rankings, so I think we're pretty much good to go. Winston about to mark Harris a top 5 deep threat in the NFL. Okay. Last second statement, Jared Cook needs to get it together because, well, it all depends on Jameis Winston and what we're going to get. I'm very interested to see. He's been having a really bad couple of weeks. Jameis, we'll see if that may be his check down guy. That might be his check down guy that he goes to. I'd like to see Michael Thomas gain some rapport, with Jameis Winston. I'd like to see Jameis Winston have a football game where he only makes like one mistake, and not a pick six. Don't fumble the football. Don't throw pick sixes. I'm a Bucs fan, but I want to see you guys succeed. I want to see you guys represent the NFC South. I want to see you guys represent the NFC. And it's just like horrible timing. I can be a Bucs fan, but I'm not a hater. I know some Saints fans are haters, of all the other teams in the division and all the other teams in football. But, time's running out for Drew. And this is like the worst timing ever. Time is running out. You really want to be able to see the Saints, get to that pinnacle, get at least to the NFC Championship game win, and get to the Super Bowl. Obviously, if you go to the Super Bowl and lose, it would be crushing. But at least to get there, to kind of, obviously the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl. But, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Calvin Griffin says, I don't hate the Bucs, but he says, I hate your QB. I don't know. There is a lot of Saints that are haters. Let's be real, YY. Some of them are true haters. Some of them are very, very true haters. Very, very, very much with tunnel vision that don't give a fuck about anything else, right? And they're in denial mode when things go wrong. They point the finger, blame everyone else. There's some Saints fans that, are well-rounded, but there's a lot of Saints fans that aren't, and that's facts. That's big facts. But, it is what it is. There's good fans and bad fans of every organization. Calvin Griffin, you crack me up, my guy. All right, NFL Week 11 picks and power rankings with the best on fucking YouTube, your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. I appreciate everyone in the room that commented, donated, subbed to the channel. You guys are the best fans on planet Earth, the Fanatic family. I wouldn't want to converse, argue, debate, or just hang out with anyone else. You guys are the fucking best. Let's grow this channel to 20K so I can start doing this giveaway. If you guys didn't see the sub count and where we're at, we're getting closer and closer to that. We got the Bucs and the Panthers, the Niners and the Saints, and the Bills and the Cardinals. Reaction video, Gerald Black and Gold Light Toes, bang, $2. Thank you so much. You guys have a good rest of your night. Rest up, and we got a great game tomorrow. We got the Cardinals and the Seahawks. All right, so take care. Enjoy yourself at work, school, or whatever you're doing. Be safe. And I'll be back tomorrow. Andre Calderon, Lenny D, Calvin Griffin, A-Guy, Raiders, Kip, Crystal, all y'all. Love you guys. Calvin Griffin, my guy. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Peace.